Hello, everyone. This is a great day for the south side of Milwaukee and the residents of District Number 6. Today, we are pleased to announce the addition of a Milwaukee County District Attorney Prosecutor that will be housed directly in District Number 6. Community partnership units exist in all MPD districts and is based on the idea that government agencies, community-based organizations, private businesses, and residents work collaboratively together to solve problems and make safer neighborhoods. District 6 did not have its own prosecutors for many years. In addition of a prosecutor at District 6 will better assist the police department and the community in addressing repeat offenders, chronic problems, and nuisance issues that had a negative effect on the quality of life for those who live, work in the city and the district. After discussions with several business improvement districts, other community partners, and the district attorney's office, is determined to partner together in a fundraising effort to bring a position back to District Number 6. The South 27th Street Business Improvement District, the Gateway to Milwaukee Business Improvement District, and the Crystal Corridor Business Improvement District began fundraising in June of 2022, and by December of 2022, $100,000 was raised for this position. Fortunately, the DA's office was able to secure funding for the prosecutor. The funds the bids raised will be repurposed to support safety initiatives and programs managed by a joint committee inclusive of those who donated to the effort. MPD appreciates the continued public partnerships we have, including with the District Attorney's Office, and we look forward to future success with these partnerships. And now I'd like to introduce the DA John Chisholm.
Thank you very much, Chief Norman, and most importantly, thank you to our partners in the community and the business improvement districts. This is a wonderful model, and that is both a public and a private model of addressing problems proactively. And when I emphasize proactively, that's a nice word for saying doing the most important stuff that is almost impossible to measure, but when it isn't done, you will see its effects. For the last 2.5, 3 years, you have seen what happens when we just don't have the capacity or the space to do some of the proactive work that was taking place every single day with the relationship that we had with our community partners program, community prosecutors, and with dedicated police officers, and most importantly, with members of the community. And that included business members, faith-based members, neighborhood-based organizations, partners with the Department of Corrections, with the City Health Department, with the Department of Neighborhood Services, a broad coalition of people committed to responding to problems before they spun out of control. Being proactive is just that. It means that we identify problems and we try to solve them collaboratively in ways that don't require us to take the measures that ultimately result in people spending long times in jail or prison, and just as importantly, a lot of victimization, a lot of people being hurt out in the community. So this is a hopeful day for us where we get to start becoming proactive again. You know what the challenges are that are facing the city, and we are always committed to working with the community to address the unique needs of every single neighborhood in the city. The reality is the concerns of the business community and the neighbors on the south side of Milwaukee could be very, very different. They may share a lot in common with other parts of the city, but they're also unique. They're unique to those particular neighborhoods and the dynamics of that community. We always want to be responsive to it. A little bit of history. It's an exciting moment for me to come back in here because back in 2002, we, for the first time, expanded the community prosecution, what is now the Community Partner Program, from only existing in District Number 5, where the former chief of the municipal court, Derek Mosley, started when he was an assistant DA. He started the first community prosecution program back in 2000. Jeff Altenberg, the deputy district attorney in charge of our general crimes and our community prosecution and early intervention, came to us and asked if he could expand the program to the south side, and specifically he wanted to start working right out of here, right out of District Number 6. So in 2002 we were able to expand it to this district, and since that time the program has continued to grow. So we're very excited. We have to make tough decisions sometimes on where we allocate our scarce resources, but we've always wanted to have another presence right back here in District Number 6. And it's only possible because of the efforts and the ask from the Business Improvement District and the community members themselves. And we were fortunate to be able to find some additional federal funding. I'll just finish by saying this is really a core part of our mission. It shouldn't be something that we have to find specialized funding for. This should be viewed as just the regular thing that a prosecutor does in their community. It's not just prosecute. We've got to do that work. And of course we have to do that work. We're prosecuting people in the courtrooms each and every day. Incredibly important work. But some of the most fulfilling work we do is when we can work with the community to identify problems early and prevent those from causing harm in the community. So again, deeply grateful for everybody's collaboration. We're looking forward to getting back on our feet and getting more and more proactive as the year and the years come forward. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hello, welcome to the Garden District. I'm Alderman Scott Spiker of the 13th Aldermanic District and joined by my colleague Mark Borkowski with the 11th District. I can see his district just across the street. So today is truly a great day, and the previous speakers said it better than I could, but I'm going to still try. This is a day of partnerships. The DA's office, DA Chisholm, MPD, Chief Norman, the city itself, the council, the mayor, and especially wanted to give a shout out to our BIDs, our business associations. They are true partners in this effort. They care about their districts, their business commercial corridors, as much as I do, and as I care about our residents, as I always say, you know, a strong business corridor is needed for strong neighborhoods, and strong neighborhoods are needed for strong commercial corridors. So we're seeing that partnership, and I'd like to thank Tara Cavazos with the 27th Street bid and Leif Otteson with the Gateway to Milwaukee and the Creasell corridor. So thank you for your partnerships. We are, it's been said many times in Milwaukee, a city of neighborhoods. Here on the south side, we have some of the strongest neighborhoods in the city, I would wager. They don't stay that way by accident. They stay that way through intentional work of the residents, of the city, of the county, of all partners, the businesses as well. And this is one step forward in that intentional effort. I get calls from neighbors, and we have a very strong middle class here on the far south side. Neighbors here, if they decide it's not the place for them, can vote with their feet. They can move on to some of our partner municipalities around the south side. But we want to give them reason to stay where their home is. Part of a central part of that effort is making sure if there are any nuisance properties, any problems, that we get on that right away. And we've had a great team here at District 6 with our community partnership unit, trying to change from community prosecution unit. It's going to take time, with Officers Ward and Garcia and their predecessors, but the addition of the Assistant DA is going to be a huge help, and improve the safety and the vitality of our district. So welcome to the district. Thank you to all our partners for their help. And with that, I turn it over to my fine colleague, Alderman Borkowski from the 11th. Thanks, Mark.
No problem. Thank you, Scott. Besides myself and Alderman Spiker, Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich, the three of us are very, very fortunate to be in the 6th Police District, which is incredibly safe. I want to just put a shout out to all of the men and women that wear the uniform day in and day out to protect all of us, and I am grateful for their continued support. Today is an outstanding day, and you can't say thank you enough. T and Leaf, the people that raised the money, $100,000, I think anybody realizes that's not chicken feed. And to all of the businesses that contributed, thank you. This is going to make our area that much stronger. You know, without public safety, you don't have anything, all right? And so we are fortunate to be able to have partners like the DA, like MPD, to be able to work to keep this area as safe as possible. And we hope to be an example for the rest of the city. So thank you to everyone for being part of this, and I think we all look forward to the outstanding efforts that's going to take place.
Thank you for those words, Alderman Borkowski, and appreciate you, Alderman Spiker. This time we will take any questions in regards to this endeavor.
Coming from the district attorney, can you tell us what a community prosecutor will do on a daily basis here in District 6?
Sure, I'm excited to tell you what they do. In fact, I'll even introduce you to two of them. So you have Franco Minio, who's going to be assigned here to District number 6, and then Ann Lopez has in effect been covering two districts for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I think is what it's been. And so Ann Lopez is currently in District number 2. And the role of the community prosecutor, first and foremost, it has to be an experienced prosecutor, right? So we don't just take somebody right out of law school and toss them into a community partnership, community prosecution role. It generally requires someone that's pretty well seasoned in the courtroom. Why? Because we want to have somebody that has a really deep appreciation for the harms that can occur, and an understanding that we would much rather address those problems before the harm occurs than waiting to prosecute it later on and rely on police to arrest and us to prosecute and the court systems to process the people. It's just much more effective all around for the health of the community for us to be right there on the ground trying to address the problems. You can only do that. So they work day in and day out with community-based organizations. They have dedicated police officers, and they work with the Department of Corrections, as I mentioned, Department of Neighborhood Services. We often describe it as focusing on nuisance places and nuisance people. So we try to identify that intersection between the small number of people who create a disproportionate amount of harm in the community, and those often tend to be located in very specific geographic areas. The neighbors know where they are. The neighbors don't want to be treated like they're the enemy. They want the exact opposite. They want to be part of the solution. They want to be able to feel safe in communicating with us, providing us that information, and trusting that we'll use it in the appropriate way to get the kind of results that we all want. And again, we do it in a way that's restrained. You know, we make sure that we follow the laws, we approach these, but we're looking for creative solutions. So it might be focused on violent crime in some areas. It might be focused on prostitution and drug dealing, open air drug dealing. It may be focused on reckless driving and physical improvement of the streets and things like that. It might be landlord issues and making sure that they're not attracting nuisances. So it's a wide array of problems, and our mission is just to help solve those problems.
What are some of the specific issues within this police district that prompted a community prosecutor to be needed here right now?
Well, I can just tell you historically, as the alderman mentioned, this is traditionally very stable, very safe. However, there also, it tends to attract a lot of property-related crimes as well. And so, in our experience, that matters. In other words, just as was mentioned, you don't want people to say, look, my garage keeps getting broken into. They're stealing my snow blower. They're breaking into my car. They're breaking into my home. All of these things affect the quality of life. It's been graffiti in the past. It's been, like I said, the attraction of prostitution on some of the streets on the near south side. All of those issues that we work with partners like the Benedict Center and others to address those issues. So it's unique to each neighborhood, but I would say, and I welcome anybody to jump in there, but it's primarily an issue related to making sure that people's property is protected and safeguarded, and people feel safe to go about their business and their lives in the community. Does anybody disagree with that?
Well, I mean,
yeah, please.
As we're dealing with business on the south side, obviously with the bid being supportive, we want to make sure that they're responsible owners. We want to make sure that they are being part of the business community, being a good steward to the community. I know that we have a number of different issues all across the city, whether it's dealing with what the DA Chisholm has stated in regards to prostitution, but there's also issues in regards to prolific catalytic converter thefts. And so these are things where there is a connectivity between the business owners, the community, the Milwaukee Police Department and also our partners such as the DA's office, the Attorney's office. We usually use these particular type of resources as a focused effort and using everyone's subject matter expertise to really come to a impactful solution to a particular special problem. So this is a great addition to the team. As I always said, public safety is a team activity, and having all these respective partners who have certain subject matter expertise but assistive in bringing a more safer environment, just as the auditors have said, continue to have a safe environment for the residents and for the business owners to enjoy.
Just a clarification, when you're writing this, does the prosecutor, the community prosecutor, do they go out? Or like what's their, like, they go out with police? Are they also staying there? Or can you describe that a little?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are fully integrated into a team, and so they are oftentimes spending a lot of their time right in the neighborhoods themselves. They will go out with dedicated police officers. Again, oftentimes there's members of the Department of Corrections for their high-risk probation parole unit, for example. They're working with the Department of Neighborhood Services if they're dealing with the physical space concerns. They're constantly going to community meetings and just getting the sense from the community what their concerns are. I mean, I literally just pulled Ann aside as I was coming in here and said that St. Josephat School would like one of our prosecutors come and talk about what a community prosecutor does, and so it's part of